The morning of 29th May 1953 is historic in the annals of mountaineering. It was the moment Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay became the first climbers to set onto Mount Everest, the world's highest mountain peak. What the event did was generate a desire among all the mountaineers in the world to follow suit. Gary Johnson, who went on to climb the highest mountain on each of the 7 continents, was so fascinated about climbing Everest that he did so despite having broken his leg prior to the expedition. National Institute of Mountaineering, Jawahar Institute of Mountaineering and Winter Sports was no different. It was a dream for us to hoist the national flag on top of the world. We took the first step towards fulfilling this dream in March 2020. But due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the government of India cancelled all international expeditions. After waiting for a year, we finally started the Jim&ws Mount Everest Expedition 2021. At 29,025 feet above the sea level, in the Himalayan mountain range, between Nepal and Tibet, Mount Everest is considered the tallest point on Earth. Our expedition was unique, considering that it was the first time the 2 national mountaineering institutes summited Mount Everest together. On 31st March 2021, we had a flag-off ceremony by JS Armed Forces, Miss Nidhi Chibber. Next day, the team flew from New Delhi to Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal. Located at an altitude of 4,600 feet. We spent the month of April visiting various places of historical importance in Nepal and kept gaining the altitude. Flying to Lukla Airport, considered one of the most dangerous airports in the world, was a nerve-wracking experience. Visiting Pakding at 8,560 feet, Namche Bazar at 11,285 feet, Khamjang Monastery Village at 12,430 feet, Edmund Hillary School and Monastery, Tangboche at 12,660 feet, Dingboche at 14,000 feet, Mount Lobosh Base Camp at over 16,500 feet, and Gorakshep, the city of tents on the moraines of Khumbu Glacier. However, missions like these are never smooth. And due to continuous snowfall, we had to call off our trek from Gorakshep and return to Lobosh Base Camp. Only after getting a clear weather window, we went to Lobosh High Camp and summited Mount Lobosh at an altitude of 20,070 feet. After this, we returned to the Everest Base Camp. We spent most of the month of May at Camp 1 at 19,030 feet, Camp 2 at 21,330 feet, and Camp 3 at an altitude of 23,625 feet. Waiting for the weather window for the final summit push was getting longer and longer, and the team members were feeling depressed due to the western disturbances, cyclone disturbances, and frequent COVID tests, as many COVID-19 positive cases had been reported at the Everest Base Camp. We got stuck in a heavy windstorm at Camp 3 on May 24 and returned to the Everest Base Camp as the mission was called off, even as 2 casualties were reported. However, our tough-minded team decided to wait for another weather window. Though the ration and oxygen cylinders were getting exhausted, we decided to stay at Camp 2, which was a brave decision, as the place is dangerous to stay in because of weather vagaries. There was a continuous snowfall from 21st May to 28th May. May 29 was a sunny day, but the camp was hit by a deadly avalanche. Due to the bad weather created by the western disturbances and 2 major cyclones, most teams returned to the Everest base camp. However, we stayed put. On May 30 evening, we moved for the final summit and reached Camp 3, which was completely destroyed by the snowstorms. We somehow managed to stay for a few hours and moved towards the dead zone, South Col or Camp 4, at an altitude of 25,560 feet, and reached there on 31st May. At around 8:30 p.m., we moved from Camp 4 and stepped on Mount Everest on 1st June 2021 at 6:20 a.m. While the trek was exhausting and depressing at times, we can say with authority that the view from the top of the world is worth the toil and hardships. After his expedition, Edmund Hillary said, "On the summit of Everest, I had a feeling of great satisfaction to be first there." We may not have been the first to scale the summit, but the feeling could have been no different. And with the feeling, there is also a realization that at the top, there is space for more. Back home, we were given a heroic reception. Coming back from the summit to a massive welcome, the feeling took quite some time to sink in. While the experience of stepping on Mount Everest was out of this world, reminiscences of being received like cellulite heroes would stay on forever.